Hello, brothers and sisters. So I'm here for part 3 of live prophetic update with morals and values. Now, I was talking before in part 1 about how if people don't value one another, then they're apt to just use them for whatever means and purposes they want. That's where child predation comes from. And child sacrifice as well, where they sacrificed children on the Moloch statue, which had like a cow head. And so they might be putting in, they don't test the genetics of like fast food, meats and stuff like that. I mean, if they are putting certain, disposing of certain human flesh into the fast food restaurants, they're not testing them for the genetics. And even though it's mostly beef, it's not like it's contaminated. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Moloch statue sacrificing children, searing them alive is like McDonald's and Burger King burgers, like char-broiled burgers. And one time I watched this person, his name was Howard Pittman, and he made this book called The Placebo Church or something like that. And so he had this interview I saw once, and he was talking about how a family or a person took their child, their daughter, and placed them in a cage and starved them, and the only thing that they could eat was cat poop. And the child was saved, but he said, yeah, this is completely demonic. What this is demonic. It's not just normal abuse. This evidently is demonic. And so I found out that the devil uses rituals and numbers and dates and letters and terms and spelling and words as a mockery of the Lord. The Lord is the Word. And so they also use acronyms as symbolic meanings. So the acronym of something, AC, Antichrist, is at the beginning of acronym. So AC, ronym, acronym. Okay, so this child was placed in a cage and starved to eat cat poop. And what is the acronym of cat poop? CP, child predation. That's their ritual. The only thing that matters to the enemy is that they're doing evil things, and that it has a demonic meaning, and that evil things are being done. And even if good things are being done, they try to make it a symbolic or ritualistic meaning if the people are being good and bad without Christ, or even false Christians professing Christ with their mouths, but their hearts are far from him. And so, like the Aztecs way back before the flood, when they were cutting people's hearts out and then feeding people to the giants and then eating one another, even their own children, cannibalism, that's where Pozole came from. Children of the corn, hominy. That's where the meaning of children of the corn comes from. And so the enemy has all these rituals of child predation with CP, the acronym, in everything. Like corncob pipe, CP. Like children of the corn. Gosh, I was trying to think of something else. It's just there, and it's demonic, and they have all these acronyms for everything that I found. And if you don't know the Lord, and you're not seeking him truly, his heart with your heart, then you're apt to fall for a lie. And if you don't know the truth, you're living a lie. And that's actually one of the quotes from not Vlad Savchuk, he's a false prophet, Nick Vujicic, life without limbs. He was born without arms and legs. And he met with like the Prime Minister of Israel and all this stuff. I pray that he's not part of the club, the big club, the 33-degree club, that it basically tries to control everything, that owns almost all the banks and the monetary systems and everything. But It's just completely demonic, all these different rituals. And the Lord is going to put an end to it. If life isn't valued, people just eat one another. That's what cannibalism is. They use the Lord and then they only use him. Don't value the Lord. They only value for him for what he provides. Living life for pleasure, being good and bad without God. And so that's why Christ said to some of his followers, oh, well, you didn't follow me because you wanted to follow God. You only followed me because you didn't have food and you were starving. So that's all the people valued God for, is food. Oh, food. Give me some pork, kind of thing. But they had bread and fish by Christ. He didn't. Christ was talking about hand washing, not defiling someone. The Pharisaic hand washing rituals, regulations placed on top of God's laws. And then Peter Sheet was talking about the Gentiles as unclean animals, prophetic, not being able to eat unclean animals. And Paul was talking about the meat market. That's where you get M&Ms, like those M&M chocolates, where they're eating one another. The M&M is a symbol, an acronym for the meat market Paul was talking about, where they're not supposed to eat pork, but if you are offered food not offered to an idol. So Paul was talking about food not offered to idols and vegetarianism. People with a weak conscience not wanting to eat meat. And so that's where that comes from. M&Ms, 2 M's is like twins. They're twins ritual. I have a video about I Pick Out 2 and the twins ritual on my channel. Go and watch it. But I have to get to my next ride. So, yeah, if people don't value one another, they don't value God. They're living immoral, godless lives. And God sees it as a molehill which will be leveled or overthrown. All right.